To measure the anteversion of the femoral neck, we use the appropriate angle guide to place a direction wire anteriorly on the neck and hammer it into the head. The angle guide is now placed on the femoral shaft and a 2 mm hole drilled in the lateral cortex. The drilling direction should be through the center of the femoral head and parallel to the anteversion K-wire. The 2.5 mm threaded guide wire is placed in the small Jacob's chuck with a small air drill and the 135-degree guide. The pin is inserted through the head and neck parallel to the anterior pin. Direct measuring device is slid over the end of the guide pin. The measuring device shows the length of the portion of the guide pin which has been drilled into the bone. Here it is 120 millimeters. On the drill shaft is a millimeter scale. The desired drill depth of 110 millimeters can be set and the sliding nut tightened. The setting of 110 millimeters is checked in the tightened position. The front part of the triple reamer drills the hole for the lag screw. The middle portion drills a larger diameter hole for the barrel of the plate, and the back part countersinks the cortex for the connection between the plate and barrel. We introduce the triple reamer into the universal drill and place the reamer over the guide pin until it contacts the bone. The hole is then reamed to the third stage of the triple reamer. The drill should be run at full speed throughout. The reamer is removed carefully. The tap assembly consists of the centering sleeve, the tap, and the T-handle. The tap is connected to the T-handle, and the centering sleeve slid over it and locked. To obtain optimal centering of the pin, the centering sleeve is first placed into the drill hole, then a long screw is placed in reverse within the centering sleeve. The guide pin can then be replaced in this way into the exact center of the previously made tunnel. Taking care that the flange of the wrench and slot of the screw properly interdigitate, the coupling screw within the wrench is then screwed into the inner thread of the DHS lag screw and tightened. After securing the centering sleeve on the wrench, the assembly is placed over the guide wire and the screw inserted. As soon as the O mark of the screw assembly reaches the lateral cortex, the DHS screw is at the end of the drill hole. This means that the tip of the DHS screw is 10 millimeters from the joint. In osteoporotic bone, the screw can be carefully inserted up to 5 millimeters deeper. At the end of the procedure, the T-handle of the wrench must be aligned parallel to the longitudinal axis of the femoral shaft, so that the barrel of the plate will slide over the screw, the flat side on the screw and the corresponding barrel part being horizontal. After removing the centering sleeve, we slide the DHS plate onto the screw and impact it using hammer and impactor. The wrench acts as a guide for precise use of the impactor. Concomitantly, the fracture zone is similarly impacted. The DHS plate is temporarily held in place with the self-centering bone-holding forceps. Subsequently, the coupling screw is loosened and the wrench removed. Using the small drill, the guide pin is removed by turning in a counterclockwise direction. The two provisional K-wires are likewise removed. The DHS plate is then attached to the shaft of the femur. The screw holes are drilled in a neutral position using the green drill guide, and after depth measurement, the 4.5 millimeter self-tapping screws inserted. The screws are inserted by machine and finally tightened by hand.